afternoon, everyone. I wanted to speak about Malik Scott here, and I strongly believe that he has improved Wilder and that he's going to even out the odds come fight night. Now, one thing I've noticed about this guy is that he doesn't seem to follow the same narrative that Wilder and the people that surround him uh, do, which is bring the whole cheating and excuses and all the accusations that they've done towards Fury. I don't see this guy right here following that same deal. This guy seems to be thinking on to have a mind of his own. This guy right here, he's not JD's, where JD's is a huge yes man and seems to follow. He seems to just be there for Wilder. He I don't think he did much for Wilder as a trainer. But this guy right here, again, he has a mind of his own, and he's not. Maybe he has brought the cheating accusations here and there, maybe, but he just doesn't give me that vibe. I think even when they've asked him, he just seems to be more focused towards the training and towards making Wilder a better boxer, a better man, a better fighter. And as a Fury fan, as someone that's rooting for Fury, this kind of scares me. Because this guy, he seems to even in the let's go to in July when they had the press conference for the trilogy. Uh, the this guy right here, the way he spoke, the way I mean, obviously, yeah, he sounded fully determined that they're gonna win and everything, but he also, when he spoke about Wilder, he said how Wilder great is and this and that. But when he also spoke about Fury, he also spoke about how great Fury is. He said it himself in his own words that Fury is a great boxer and this and that. With this acknowledgement here shows acknowledgement here shows that this guy knows what they're getting inside, what they're getting into this coming weekend. Like, this guy knows who they're up against. In fact, this guy even sparred with Fury himself. Um, Not only that, but during the rematch training, this guy right here was when JD's was the head coach. This guy right here was one of Wilder's sparring partner, and he was mimicking Fury, as if he's watched a lot of videotapes of Fury and he's been copying his moves, etc., etc. So I believe this guy has been following Fury. He has been snooping onto Fury for a while now, and for this guy to be Wilder's trainer and having this that much info about Fury and being a boxer himself, a pretty decent boxer from what I've checked out, means that he's definitely gonna add arsenal to Wilder's game coming this weekend. Uh, I'm not I'm not I'm not a military guy. I've never been to war or anything like that, but this guy seems to have the art of war mentality coming into this fight. Uh, like the saying goes, though know your enemy and or something like that, where the more you know about your enemy, the better chances you have against your enemy. And again, this guy right here seems very focused and very determined to for him to make Wilder win this weekend, for them to be elevated back into the apex position, where Wilder was the baddest man in the planet. So again, as a Fury fan, this kind of scares me because I know that this guy right here, he's no joke. I do have some negativities that I would say about him, or coming into this fight, but again, he seems highly determined, and he's smart. He has his own perspective, and he thinks outside the box. Again, he's not falling for the whole cheating accusation dealio, and he seems to know a lot about Fury. He even acknowledges how great of a boxer is, um, and he seems also to be giving Wilder a lot of will and determination. Like he's fully focused onto Wilder. Um, yeah. So yeah, those are the things. Those are the things that this guy is going to be bringing in here. The there's a couple of bad things I could say about him here, that brings doubt. One of those things is that he's not. This is his first fight as a head trainer. He hasn't trained anyone before, so he doesn't have that experience as a trainer, as a boxing trainer, as a head trainer. Someone that at the go, during live, uh, is going to be guiding Wilder during, um, what do you call it? Lively pressure. This is he hasn't done this as far as I know. So I'm not sure how he's gonna react during the fight, when Wilder gets in trouble. I'm not sure if he's gonna feel the pressure himself. So again, he doesn't have this experience. So this is a negative thing going into the fight. Another negative thing going into the fight, and I don't think this is a bad thing, and I'll have my reasons for it. Another bad thing is, switching trainers between big fights. I'm Typically, that's not a good thing right there. It's not something you want to do. You may want to do that for a, tune-up, but not for a big fight. I mean, it may work. It may. You look at Fury. He switched trainers between. Well, actually, I'm not. I'm not sure if he used. Right now, he's using Stewart. He had this other trainer. I forgot his name right now, and he switched to, Emmanuel Stewart's, nephew, if I'm not mistaken, and he was able to be successful with with this new trainer. But I don't recall right now if he, because if he used him, if he used Stewart for, the few fights before their Wilder rematch. But anyways, so they were able to successfully, do their thing. However, that may not always be the case. So that could be something negative coming into this fight on Wilder's side. Maybe Wilder, would not be able to adjust well, um, to and not be able to follow, Malik Scott's, instructions. However, to counter this right here, I have a few things I could say to counter this. First is that they've had Malik Scott and Wilder have been training for at least 1.5 years, like 18 months or something like that. I'm not sure. They've been training for a while now, and this gave them enough time to get used to each other, to work well together, to weed out all the mistakes and all the errors and whatnot. So this is a good thing, actually, because they've had a lot of time working together to build up that brotherly love, to that connection, that strong bond, and it kind of shows when you see them in presses and here and there. It kind of shows that they have a very strong bond together. So that actually turned into something positive here. The negative, where the switching trainers could be, I wouldn't say for the very most part. In this case, it's going to be something positive. Um, so we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see in the fight, and to see if, they'll be able to work together for their first fight, being together. Another, let me see, a bad thing I could say, another negative would be he does seem to be a bit of a yes man towards Wilder. That's something bad that JD's was for Wilder. Just being a yes man. It's just not. Maybe it worked maybe this was something that worked um, for most of Wilder's fights, just being a yes man with him, because Wilder Wilder has a very strong, very good physique, and he has the strongest right hands in the sport right now. He's the hardest hitting SOB right now in boxing. Hardest hitting, no question, no doubts. So I think that's why for a long time he was able to get away just being who he is, just being that one. He has to be perfect for 2 seconds, kind of thing, and that has, of course, that has been proven for like almost 40 fights. However, we have a different. They're going up against a different line here, uh, going up against arguably the best heavyweight there is out there right now, which is Tyson Fury. So this mentality here, this yes man mentality, will not work against someone like Fury, as we already seen in 2 fights. No, um, they have to bring someone in, someone that's not entirely gonna kiss Wilder's ass, and that should be Malik Scott. However, Malik Scott does give me a bit of that yes man vibes, a little bit here and there. Um, I'm not sure. Maybe Wilder is just someone really, really hard to work with. Um, when he had Mark Breland in the corner, I think it was before JD's. I'm not sure. I think Mark Breland was trying to instill his knowledge onto Wilder, maybe trying to tell him about his mistakes, and maybe Wilder felt that, well, you know what, I can't have someone just barking at me or trying to tell me what I've done wrong and this and that. So that's why he got JD's. Um, but then we saw that JD's didn't work, and I mean for someone against Fury, and also that they threw in Mark Breland under the water after Mark Breland saved Wilder. They used him as a scapegoat. He needed someone else. I think Wilder finally realized that, hey, I need something better against Fury. Um, he took away my belt. I'm not at the top anymore. The WBC belt was what kept me on the top. Right now, I'm kind of maybe still in the top three or top five, but I'm not the apex anymore. So that's where Malik Scott has come in. Now, on the to kind of counter this, I would say that from what I've noticed is that Malik Scott seems to treat Wilder like a dad treats a 5 year old, where he hasn't put a kind of like a rewarding system where when he sees Wilder doing something good, he tells him he tells him, "Hey, you're doing great. Like, oh, this is what I want to see. This is great right here." I don't think he like maybe like Mark Breland did before. I don't think he's criticizing Wilder during training, or I don't think he criticized him during training. I don't think he yeah, he scolded him for doing things wrong or anything like that. I think he worked more on the rewarding system, where he sees him doing something good. There you go. That's what I want to see, and whatnot. So maybe the whole yes man front, the whole thing is just a front, and maybe he's kind of manipulating Wilder to shape him where he needs to be at. I'm not sure. So that may be the case where he kind of acts like a yes man, but he's kind of working around it. Um, Kind of like, I don't know, like I saw in a movie where a surfer cannot beat the shark, cannot kill the shark, but the surfer was able to swim around it, was able, without killing it, was able to work with the shark, maybe swim in the same patterns as the shark did. I'm not sure, But again, I think Malik Scott might be onto something here, where again he's using the rewarding system to give, like he'll praise Wilder. He'll tell him, "Oh, this is good, this is good." And then when he sees Wilder doing something that he wants him to do, he'll be like, "Yes, there you go. Yeah, we're doing it. Great. We're onto something great here." So again, that's what I believe Malik Scott is doing. I'm not 100% sure, but it's something there. Anyways, what else can we look up here for Malik Scott? I don't know him. I don't know too much about him as a boxer. I've only seen the Wilder fight, which only lasted about what, like a minute or two or something like that, where Wilder like took him out right away. Let's see. Let's click on his box rec, and I was looking at this earlier. Not gonna lie, he seems to have a decent record. The only thing, well, he doesn't have a high KO percentage. Um, So maybe he's inclined more of a, instead of a brawler or puncher, he might be more in the boxer intellect, thinking mentality. He's more of a boxer, less of a brawler. I want to say, given that number there. So you look at his record. I'm not sure. I think I've heard of Tony Thompson. I'm not sure. Uh, he fought Derek Chisora. He got knocked out by Derek Chisora. Okay, that's not a very good thing. He got knocked out by Wilder in the first round. I think it was the first round. But he did had a UD, unanimous decision with Luis Ortiz. Now, Luis Ortiz doesn't uh, doesn't have a big. I mean, he was undefeated before Wilder, but some people criticize Wilder for fighting Luis Ortiz, an old guy that does not have names under his resume. Okay, I will counter that and say that when I saw Luis Ortiz fight Wilder in both of the fights, he, in my perspective, I mean, the way he was moving, he was standing, his boxing stance as a lefty, the way he was fighting, he looked like he was very skilled, and he was one of the few ones besides excluding Fury. He was one of the few ones that was close to beating Wilder, and that was able to handle Wilder and control Wilder for a good portion of both the fights. Yeah, so again, he doesn't have a lot of known names. Maybe Bryant Jennings. Bryant Jennings, I think I've heard of that guy. Um, and really, his only two losses have been to Wilder. Um, so just the way I saw him fight against Wilder in both occasions, he did extremely well. He's a Cuban boxer, but typically very technical, but not typical in the way where he's just running like Lara and Rigondo. But yeah, I like the way he was fighting there. Anyways, um, yeah, so that's a Malik Scott right there. A bit of a nutshell with his boxing career, and yeah, um, my odds coming into the Wilder and Fury trilogy before Malik Scott were 75 to 25 in favor of Fury, of course. Possibly 80 slash 20 uh, Fury. So those were really bad odds for Wilder, and this was me thinking, my thinking in July of 2020. Right now, with what I've seen, with Wilder's physique and will and determination, and with Malik Scott and everything, I wouldn't say that the odds have gotten much close. Uh, the odds in right now, I want to say they're 60 and 40. Fury still, possibly 65-35 Fury. I'm not sure. Somewhere around there, 60 to 40 or 65-35 in favor of Fury. But those odds have given Wilder a better chance than what he had last year. So again, I do believe that overall, I do believe that Malik Scott is just a better trainer. The change was just better for Wilder. Wasn't like JD's was doing too much for him. Wasn't like JD's needed to do a lot for him prior to Fury, but now we have a different animal, different beast that he's going up against, that he's been going up against. So they need um, someone a very good trainer, and hopefully, not to my hopes, but hopefully for the sake of Wilder, Malik Scott has done a tremendous job and will do a tremendous job of fight night. Um, and yeah, that'll be it. That's those are my thoughts for today, and thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like. Peace out. Have a good day.